If there was one thing you could do to improve participation and attendance in your meetings for Adventurers and Pathfinders this year, would you do it? I'm Laura with Laura's Adventure Resources, and today I'd like to talk to you about one little change that you can make that will make your year go more smoothly, both for yourself and especially for your club members and their parents. Here's my secret. Communicate more often. That's it. So often we think, all right, I'm going to do the announcements at the beginning of the meeting. I'm going to tell the kids what's coming up, and I'm done. I've sent out a calendar. They know when the meeting is. We're good to go. Or maybe I'm a classroom teacher, and there's an honor or an award, depending on the level you are, or investor achievement thing that they need to do at home. Can't do it in the meeting, so you're going to send it home. You're very clear. You tell the kids exactly what they need to do, and then when they come back to the next meeting, nobody did it. Has that ever happened to you? I see this happening as a parent, and so here is my recommendation. We need to, as leaders, as teachers, we have to be very intentional about communicating with our families, not just our adventurer or a pathfinder, but their parents. So send out that information, ideally in a written format. Either send it home with the kids in that written format. That way, when they get home and they're like, oh, right, so I'm supposed to do this thing, and I don't remember what I'm supposed to do, they can refer back to the page, or their parent can refer back to the page, depending on the age of the kid. Either might be necessary. It's always good to send out those club announcements in another format other than just at the meeting. Not only do, especially in Pathfinders, a lot of times their parents are not sitting in the meeting, so they don't get the announcements. And sometimes in Adventurers they are, and sometimes they're not. Just depends on our club. So if we send out those announcements, they are more likely to read them and know what is going on. And at least we know that we have done our part. If we send out those assignments in a written format or email out to the parents, or however your club chooses to communicate, that way they can see it and they can understand. That will make everything go a little bit more easily done, understandable for the parents to be able to help their kids. If your families know what memory verses are coming up, they can be working on them at home if that's how you do it. In my adventure club, we do our memory verses in the meeting, and so I don't really have to worry too much about that. But some adventure clubs send them all home, and I see a lot of times Pathfinder clubs sending them all home. But if the parents don't know what the kids are working on, the kids probably don't know what they're supposed to be working on either. That's what I have noticed. I've also noticed that in our neurodivergent families, they really struggle with trying to remember all the little details that you said in all of it. So if it's written that down, they'll know. So your question might be, okay, well, how often do I need to communicate? And my answer to that is at least as often as you meet. So in Adventurers, we're built on a every other week schedule. Not all clubs meet like that, but that's typical. So I always try to make sure that I get announcements out every other week. However, on a Pathfinder schedule where you're meeting every week, that's not often enough. So you're going to want to be sending out messages every week. I have had parents who came to me and said, I totally forgot we had a meeting until I got your message. And that's why they're there. So if you are making sure you send out a message pretty soon to, right before that meeting, then they'll go, oh, hey, we have a meeting this week. Then we're likely to bring their kids and, attend the meeting. But especially with adventurers, our schedule is always a little bit odd because, we don't meet every week. And so parents are like, do we meet this week? Do we not meet this week? We meet, the 1st and 3rd. Well, it's the 5th. Do we meet? Do we not? So if we make sure that we do our part to communicate, they'll be much more likely to do their part to bring their kids and to be involved. So that is my quick tip today, is to make sure that this year you are intentional about communicating with your families. Make sure that they know what's going on, and then they can rise up and join you and do this wonderful adventure that is Club Ministries. I hope that everything is going great for your clubs. If you want to tell me what's going on in your clubs right now, I'd be so excited to hear and cheer you on. Just leave a message down below in the comments. And no matter what is going on with you right now, I hope it's good, and I hope that things are improving. And as always, I hope that you are bombarded with as many volunteers as you possibly need. Bye.